The podcast that you're about to listen to does not care about your emotions, your hypersensitivity, or your political correctness. If you wish to continue, then
shut up and sit down.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Alpha 5 podcast. I'm Frank, a.k.a. PJ, here with Fabian and John. Fellas, what's going on, man?
What up? What's poppin', guy?
I'm telling you, yo, you sound it. You sound like you're going through it.
Oh, I'm in misery right now, but it's fine. You know, it happens.
The
older you get, you know.
All been there, man. All been there. That body pain that you can't really get the proper resolutions to. It is rough.
Yeah, I feel like my hip is inflamed.
Side effect of getting older, but hey, at least you're not having to deal with the cold and whatnot.
That's
on
true.
Top of that, because that just makes it worse.
That's true.
Oh yeah, there's a snowstorm, and you have a slip disc. Not happened.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's happened. That's happened to me before.
So,
I know you're right. I know what that feels like too. It's worse than what this is right now.
She's like, I just want to die. I just rather die right now. 2 feet and my back hurts. Oh, this is not good.
It's still pretty.
How you feeling, Fabe?
Feeling pretty good.
Getting over your COVID shit.
Yeah, everything's great. Can't complain. I just other than that, I just gotta get my ass back to the gym. You know, still slacking. Still haven't got that COVID freaking blues.
I feel that, as last episode explained. So I wanted to talk to you about something. John and I talked about this briefly. Fabian's kind of going to be new to this, so it'd be interesting to get a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
I was listening to one of my favorite radio shows, Michael K's show, and one of the topics, believe it or not, was whether or not your significant other could be your best friend. And it was actually like a really heated debate on it, because, you know, on one side, it's like, I guess the argument was your significant other is the ultimate best friend. That was like the side of things that listeners who were calling in were taking, and the main host was taking. On my side, I kind of disagree with that, but I'm curious about your guys' perspectives.
Well, as for me, I don't know if my wife could be my best friend. Like, a best friend to me is a very specific category. Like, and your wife is your wife. If I wanted to just be best friends with my wife, I would have just remained friends with her, I guess. But to
like
me,
friends with benefits, then, right?
Yeah, but I didn't want you to be my friend. I wanted to be something that was more than friends, that was better than friends. So no, I don't think my wife could be my best friend, because she's more than that. You know what I'm saying? All right, see what I did there? Look how I navied it, bro. But that's the truth. Like, you're not my best friend. Like, I'm not about to go like do some wild late night shit with you, but I trust you more than anybody ever.
Not that kind of late night wild shit.
Well, right. No, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like doing dumb kid shit, or just dumb friend shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that you could be my best friend.
Fabe?
You know what? It actually kind of depends on what and I think this goes for everybody. It's like, what does the term best friend mean to you? And, and some people would say, if your significant other encompasses all those characteristics, then yeah, that is your best friend. You know what I mean? Somebody you could tell or your secrets to, you can lean on, help at the drop of a dime. You know what I mean? Like, just so for me, your significant other, to me, encompasses the qualities of a best friend and then some, because now you're moving past just that stuff, but you're also getting into that physical and soul bond that you really don't get, I think, with your best friends, but they are something different than I don't know. It's just a different relationship. I don't know. To me, it's just, I feel like it's a little bit different because, like John said, Rebecca knows all his deepest, darkest secrets. You know what I mean? We know a lot of his stuff, but the wife knows some deep shit. I'm pretty sure Maribel will say some stuff that I never knew about PJ. You know what I mean? I probably know maybe 90% of it, but there's a small little freaking portion in there that you can only connect with that person that you're intimate with, and that's why I feel like it's a little bit different.
All right, so that you hit on a lot of things which are what make it hard for me to say that my wife is my best friend.
Uh,
So in my opinion, um, there's just different levels to things, right? There's different relationships. No relationship is equal. So I don't think there's anything wrong in saying no. My wife is not my best friend. She may be the most important person in my life, right? But that doesn't automatically put her into the category of best friend. Because really, one of the main things for me is like, all right, if this relationship goes sour, that just means you're gone, right?
Right.
mm,
Or we're not gonna remain close or anything. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
we're
saying?
not going to go from best friends to close friends. We may not be friends at all. We may not be able to stay in
ah,
the side of you. You know
yeah.
what
Right.
I'm saying? Whereas
It's a
like
very astute
you
observation.
I like you'd say yeah, right? Like John, we lost contact with John Fade for how many years, right? When he moved down south, my man comes
Under a
back,
decade.
but it was yeah, but my man comes back
Yeah.
and it's like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
We were at your house, cracking a beer, joking around, like nothing happened, right?
Picked right up.
Like
Like we didn't miss a fucking beat.
I can't say that
Facts.
I would do that with Maribel. Like we would have to rebuild our relationship again.
Oh, how you
If
Mm.
been? How's things?
if
How's
anything, it God forbid if anything went south, right?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden we rekindled, like that would probably be the process.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you guys went to high school with each other and you guys were high school sweethearts and you went this long, then maybe that's something different then. Because the reason why you don't have that, because y'all relationship is not built on friendship. It's built off of for lust initially, and then whatever after. It wasn't built on we were super best friends.
You can
I had
be
an attraction.
you
Go
could
ahead.
be like have a connection and a deep. You can still have a friendship, right? That doesn't go away. But to say like you're my best friend, like I don't know. I don't think I can. You theoretically should be able, right, to talk to your significant other about everything. But do you really?
Well,
Like
if even
honestly, do you
no,
really?
no, nobody talks to everybody about everything. That's not how this works, right? But I mean, if that's how you would look at it, then your therapist would be what, the love of your life because of
You're
yeah, I know.
you
I don't know.
disappeared.
I know. Oh, I'll tell you why. Because my camera unplugged. I'm here. Give me a
Oh,
second.
hey. No, you
Um,
sound phenomenal, but continue. We can still hear you.
well, again, your therapist is not your love of your life either, and you'll tell them anything. It's more about if we were best friends and then we fell in love through that best friendship, and then whatever, then I can say, yeah, that's my best friend, and we fell in love. But I'm not gonna just call you my best friend because I love you now and we're super close and we do everything together. Like you
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't with me shooting in the gym, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Hold on, let me plug this
But
again.
you know what? And I think John hit on something very, very important, and I think that's true. And I even think about that. You might indulge in everything, but not everything in one person. So there is stuff that I will say to y'all about whatever, but I would not say to
Right.
to 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 my significant other. You know,
Right.
obviously because of what they're gonna think, fear of reprisal, they get jealous, whatever it is, they'll take it the wrong way. There's tons of reasons, right? The husband doesn't always talk to the boys the same way he talks to wives. Sometimes some wives are chill like that, but still, not every little thing. And then there's stuff that I don't know about that you be doing and you be doing with Maribel and stuff like that, and probably I don't want to know about. But you know what I mean? And same thing with John and Rebecca. And it's like, you know what? You keep that between you and
Well,
your wife. You
ev-
know?
e- every
Yeah.
relationship has limits, has its boundaries, right? And
Yeah.
like that's why you need more than one person in your life because you need those people that you can talk to about different things. That's why you maintain all these different relationships. And I, like I said, when I think about when I think about a best friend, it's not my wife that is the most immediate. Yeah, she probably knows the most, knows a lot of deep dark stuff and blah 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 blah. But like she can be and know all those things without having that title. Like you have the title of my wife. That goes
It
above
supersedes
best
a lot of
friend.
shit. Yeah.
Right. That goes above best friend as long as you hold that title. But guess what? You lose that title, you lose the perks associated with, right?
Right. There's no longer
Like
best friend. Yeah. You would
it's
have a longer leash than my best friend. You have more, you get more care, more love. You get more of everything for being my wife.
But you could
But
lose. Is a pros and
yeah,
cons to that.
and then there is no more. Now you're not even
Yeah.
getting anything. With
Yeah.
opposed to a best friend, it might be you probably get less, but you probably deal with a little bit more. You
the
know what I'm
found
saying?
the foundation of the relationship is a little bit different. It's built differently,
It's
Mhm.
built off
right?
of camaraderie. I'm sorry if I, you weren't comrades when you met Maribel. Like that's not what your idea was. It wasn't about like, oh, I can't wait to play Pogs with her, or I can't wait to fucking hang out and talk about like Dragon Ball or whatever, dudes, or girls on the other end, they talk about hairstyles and all the other stuff that they do. What they saw on
Right.
Scandal. That's, I'm not your homegirl. Like I don't want to, in the same token where I'm not my wife's not my best friend, I don't want to be her best friend because I know what that comes with being a girl's best friend. I'm not a girl and I can't handle that kind of pressure.
You want to be her husband.
Right.
You want to play your role,
Right. I don't
which involves friendship,
mm-hmm,
absolutely, right?
mm-hmm.
But like again,
Hey,
to which limits, right? It
Right.
I
is
love
to
Right.
which limits.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
laugh next time somebody says some synth type mofo decides to tell me, "Oh, my wife's her best friend." I tell her everything. I'd be like, "Really, bro? Did you tell her about the summer in 2006 with Marissa?" No. All right then. Correct
Yeah.
yourself. Check
No.
yourself. All right. I know about that. She
Hey,
don't know about that. You know what I mean? Or whatever it
if you have
is.
enough balls, if you looking at the camera, if you have enough balls to say that you tell your wife everything, show her your Pornhub history. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I
Is
know.
that is that
Dog.
did you even tell her every time you use that Pornhub in the
Well,
first
right,
place?
right,
Right?
right.
Like, hey,
And so
hey
yeah,
babe,
yeah,
I'm stepping up to the room for a second. I'll be back in a little bit.
yeah. But
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
honest. But y'all honest. Oh, pish posh.
Yeah. Tell
You
your
know,
No,
wife
you're
it,
not.
everything.
it,
Oh, I
it,
always thought his sister was bad, but you never said anything. You kind of keep this to yourself.
Yeah,
You're not. You're
most of
not
you
saying
niggas
anything.
can't even tell your wife that that you be on Pornhub. Like you're not even allowed to say those words. You get locked down.
right?
So
When you're with as a guy, when you're with your homies and you see a nice lady pass by, you might be like, yo,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But if not all men with their wives can be like, damn, she got a fat ass, and they'll be okay with that,
Yeah.
right? It's
those
a
are the women
different
that
type
are
of
in.
relationship,
Well, though it is, but it also it's not a different relationship. It just depends on the personality of the people that are in the relationships. Well, I guess
right?
that
True.
determines.
But that there's different you understand that there's barriers that you don't cross. There's things
Right,
that you
right,
can
right,
and
right.
you cannot you can and cannot say, right?
You're right.
Like you just have these different situations that arise that just a husband and wife cannot get into like that.
Mhm.
Mm,
Like my father was my best man for my wedding, right? Y'all were there,
mhm,
right?
right.
That that doesn't make my father my best friend. My
No, it
father is
doesn't.
still my father, but I have a friendly relationship with him. I can speak to him about certain things and connect with him on a certain level, confide in him in a certain level, but push comes to shove at the end of the day, he's still my father,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like there's titles for a reason.
It's your dad. There's a certain respect. There's a certain reverence. There's a certain bond. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you don't have bond with your friends, but that's your father. Like that's you're the replica. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
you just in the future. So I understand what you mean by that. I don't
I
think women should be offended. I'm sorry, women, but your man's is not your best friend. Like unless you're gonna really sit up in the middle of the night and run Warzone and run threes on Apex and run Park and do stuff like that, and go to gun ranges. Well, some of you probably go to gun ranges, but just do like man stuff, dude. We don't want to be your best, like because we don't sit there and talk, and women love to talk. They love to talk.
Separate from that, though, like you need a safe haven from your significant other.
Amen.
Right? You need somewhere where you can go complain about them. Right? And that's usually to your best friends. Right? Because you're not, I think most women are not going to just go to any regular friend, right, to complain about their significant other, because they don't want that bitch to try to slide in the DMs or start talking shit, you know, on the block or something like that. They're gonna go to their deepest, most loyal friend for advice or to vent or whatever,
sibling or something like that, or for a family member, you know, or
yeah, it won't be the husband. They're not gonna nah, it's not gonna happen. And then I think people also struggle with the fact, like, one, you can have multiple best friends also, which I don't know, maybe not everyone agrees with that, but I don't care.
I mean, I think I have multiple best friends. I think I have more than one. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. If you have more than one, but I feel like I have more than one best friend. So it's, you know, and I can't have more than one wife because that's a special title. I can split myself within friendships. You don't want to be my best friend, wife. You want to do best friend things with me.
Would you say wife goes above best friend?
Yeah.
Fit.
Yeah. I didn't vow shit to you niggas. I love you guys, but I didn't vow before the law and God.
Does girlfriend go above best friend?
I mean, to be my all right.
Nah,
so the day before I got married, right? She wasn't my wife yet. I was technically still single. Was y'all before her on that day? No. You know why? Because we was already planning our life together. Doesn't matter if the day we took our vows at that point, no. And that was still my girl, you know, even though we were engaged, but that was still, you know. So the day before you got married, we were all hanging out, right? Together. At that point, even before that, she was more important than us. It's cool. So yeah, it depends on its context behind it.
Yeah, I agree with John too.
Yeah, there's like a there's a point where it's like a transition where it's like, all right, you went from like whatever or equals, let's say, it's like, all right, you've transitioned into someone of higher,
a bigger
stature.
Category, but it could be lost. Now you're in a higher stature, but it could be lost because it's only contingent upon whether or not you stay with me.
The funny part is though is that's a situation though that gets recognized amongst everybody though, right? So like for me, Maribel meeting y'all and getting along with y'all was like part of the deal, because I didn't want to deal with a situation where she was talking shit about my friends or giving me shit when I went out with y'all or whatever, right? Like that's when I've found when there are peaceful relationships, it's less of a headache. But and I think at a certain point, like when your friends, you know, especially your best friends, meet the new person, there's a sense of hierarchy and like status that they feel like I'm gonna determine your fate, bitch. Better act right.
That's some sick egotistical shit, man. You got to be in a weird place. You know what?
I'm telling you, it's true. I absolutely, because then what ends up happening, right? She comes, she's chilling, everybody's vibing, whatever, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go home, babe. Bye. So 2 days later, so what y'all think? That's what I did, right? Yeah. And I gotta make sure that ain't nobody got no bad feedback, because niggas, I know people are fucking eyeing her up. You know what I mean? I've dated women where I never forget it. My aunt just was not feeling somebody that I was like at all, and I had never ever seen her like hostile.
Now you got me thinking.
I know exactly. I think I know exactly what it is.
She literally looked this heifer right in the face and was like, "So what's your intentions here?" Like you're just hanging around, or and like the whole time we were at dinner, there was like some weird shit going
Hopefully
on.
it's
But like
temporary. Walk
yeah,
off.
we were we were at dinner, and like my aunt went to go put some lip balm on whatever, and this girl ended up like literally simultaneously went to put lip balm on after, like along with it, and I was like, "The fuck, you copying me?" Literally, like I've never like she would.
Super hostile. Can we talk a second about
She
why
didn't like
women?
that. She didn't like it. She didn't like it.
Why? Okay, let's talk about, since we're on the topic of best friends and women and all this other stuff, right? Why the hell are women like that? Like, if they're so, every woman I've ever met always say the same thing, and y'all gonna know it when I say it. Oh, I don't get along with girls. I get along with guys
Oh, I
better,
get that all the
right?
time, nonstop.
I've never met a girl that hasn't said that to me, my wife included, right? And when I'm saying, damn, all y'all just, my first natural carnal conclusion is, oh, damn, all y'all hoes, like, y'all just love dick and you just love being around dick. But then I thought about it a little deeper, right? Because I'm a dude and I think with genitals sometimes. But then I'm thinking about it a little deeper is because men don't talk as much. And so women can just say whatever the fuck they want to a man and just keep going. And the dude is going to be like, dude, let's go do this fun thing. And so they get to have the fun thing and say whatever the fuck they want. And a man is never going to even care what they're saying. I have a lot of female friends and a lot of them talk a lot. I don't mind. I listen, you know what I'm saying? But I guess some of them expect me to do the same thing back, and I had to, slow down. I'm a dude, but they don't do that with each other. It's when women get around each other, best friend women, there's so much talking and there's so much thought that they both start like phasing each other's mind and doing some weird Jedi mind trick shit where they start thinking that they're talking about each other and doing all this catty bullshit. And that's why they can't be friends. And so now women try to find man best friends. You know what I mean? This is a whole nother topic. I know I'm going on a tangent.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I'll add to that is that there may be something to it, because you know how when women live in the same house together, how their cycles end up phasing together, like and so maybe there's just like there's something about the vibe, maybe it's a pheromone thing, I don't know, but
because
there could be
I don't
something
know,
there.
every woman that I know that has a female like best friend, at some point they wind up fighting, not physically, but getting into it with that female best friend. But I maintained my guy friends for 20 years. It's like not super easy, barely an inconvenience. Like, you know what I mean? No problem at all. No problem at all. I just, we don't want to be your best friend, women. Be women's best friend. Learn how to be friends with other women so we don't have to take on that burden, wife. Because it's not fair to us. We are here to have our own friends. You know what I mean?
There's I do feel like that concept though of your significant other being your best friend really comes from a belief that when you get married, you're not you can't have separate lives. Like you have to have intertwining lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's dangerous. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know a lot of guys that think that way though. As I know women think as, oh, my husband, he's my best friend. And of course, yeah, we can be best friends, air quotes, you know what I'm saying? And super love you and all of that. But I don't know many guys that walk around. Like, I know a lot of guys that say, no, this is my wife and this is my best friend. They never say this is my best friend and my wife. It's only women that do that. And again, I come back to the same point. I think that's because women don't know how to be friends with women. Because I, as a man, I can separate my wife and my best friend and still have those two separate relationships. So why can't women do it? Why do they need to be best friends with their husbands?
I think they do, because I mean, you can overhear some of the conversations that women be talking with each other, and their so-called best friends, and the stuff that that goes down in those conversations that they would never actually talk to us about, but they still claim at the end of it all, when they finally get married, oh, I married my best friend. I'm like, no, because I heard you over here talking some wild stuff, that we would talk about, especially when it comes to women. They'd be talking about men and all kinds of stuff, or how was he and how big he was. That's the conversation they have amongst each other.
That's not best friend talk. That's not best friend
That's
talk
what
to
girls
me.
talk to each other.
Because women
So,
love just to talk. Women will just talk.
but that
Again,
conversation
if
would never
you
come up with you, like, you know what I mean, and it shouldn't, but
if
they
if I
never
talk
saw
to
it.
my therapist about again, is she my best friend? Like because I'm sharing things that I wouldn't necessarily share with my wife.
Mhm.
No, it just means I'm talking and I have to get it out. And so even if a woman is sitting there talking about how her man is this and this and this, she will still side at it out that bitch, turn around and be like, I don't trust her.
Yeah,
She's the type to
yeah,
tell people
yeah.
because they complain that they don't like the drama, but then they perpetuate it, and that's all. I don't want to sound like a woman hater. Women, I love you, but I just think that a lot of that has to do why we get called the best friend as the husband and not the other way around is because I don't think they know how to be friends with each other.
On that show that I even heard this initially spoken about, all the men that were calling in were talking about how the two hosts that agreed with us
Mhm.
were out of their mind and crazy. How their wives are their best friends and they're the ones that know every and intimate detail about them, that they couldn't go on life without them. Like
All
all
of
this, all the stuff that a wife is, right? But for some reason that equates to what a best friend is.
yeah, right. That doesn't make sense.
Like
But
just
that
just
goes
because
to
you
what their
know,
definition is. Then
but
it means something to everybody
but
differently, and I think
yeah,
there's.
but just because a person knows everything about you, to John's point, just because
Mhm,
everyone, somebody knows everything about you, doesn't automatically make them your best friend, right?
mhm.
My mama knew everything about me for 10 years. It may mean that she was my best friend. I'm just throwing a random
Yeah, yeah.
number out
Yeah, but
there, you know.
I get what you're saying, right?
Like
As soon,
she knew everything about me for at some point, and like you know what I'm saying. Like that means she's still my mother. She's my mother.
right, that's
Like
the title. And so I don't want to equate the amount of information or how long you knew me because there are people that have known me just as long as you guys, but those people aren't my best friends because they might be super good friends, super acquaintances, super whatever's, but it's like I don't want to just say, oh, well, because we know each other this like, nah, man. Or I told you X, Y, and Z. Women are different, man. Women are different. And I don't, a lot of women think because, oh, we took vows together now, that means I am the number one spot means best friend. But best friend, I have a lot of friends. So out of all of my friends, that's the best one. But then I have siblings, I have mothers and
Hmm.
fathers, I have cousins. So there's groups of people. I didn't say you're my best family member. I didn't say you're the best person. I said out of you're my, you know what I mean? And so
every,
contextualize.
and everyone gets categorized, and then when it comes down to okay, who do you put at the top? Most people, I think, put their spouse at the top, and then
Mm-hmm.
people kind of start falling in line under that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that one of y'all niggas try to tell me that or ask me to kill my wife. I'm probably gonna kill you before I kill my wife,
Hmm.
Ain't no
right?
probably about it. You better not ever
Hmm.
spit that sentence. It'll be the last shit you say.
Well, but you understand what I'm saying though, and like
Yeah.
it's I would be more, not that it would happen, but if our significant others asked us to kill one of our best friends, that's probably more likely to happen. As little likelihood that it happens. It's like if it's 0.01% that
You might get a why.
where that
Yeah.
why you gotta issue with John though?
Right.
What you mean,
Like-
kill this nigga? What he did to you? Versus
Oh,
if
man.
you asked me to kill her, I'd be like, nigga, what?
And,
No,
no,
I don't even
it's
want to
immediate
know why.
action. It's
I don't even
immediate
wanna know
action.
why.
Yeah, you might get a why from me if you're my wife. Like, why?
you better
You better have a good reason to say that.
have a really strong backing for that request.
You better make sure the next words that come out your mouth, nigga. All right. Oh man.
That's hard facts. That's really hard facts though. If it was a 0.1% of y'all ass, it may be a 0.2% of she has. Still, that's not likely gonna happen, but more likely than the other.
Listen,
And that's okay.
women need to make
Yes.
their own friends. We love you girls, but we don't want to be your friends.
But
You're
guys
not
too.
really gonna.
Whatever guy's gonna come out and say my wife is my best friend, stop.
Well, Those are fucking simps,
Yes.
PJ.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That.
Like
Oh,
those are
I-
simps.
they,
I'm sorry.
the probably wives were listening when they made that comment because they were just like, "Oh, you're my best friend."
Not to say that that's not possible, because again, there are scenarios where you could be best friends with somebody, and then y'all just that, and it's a girl or whoever, whatever you're into, and that relationship grows into a romantic relationship, and then you can say, yes, in fact, indeed, my best friend is my
no,
spouse. But
Even
that is
no,
such a
even
rare.
then, it goes back to what PJ was saying. Like, because after that ends, maybe it could be like some freaking some Black Widow Hawkeye situation where they still good friends to the end and never got it, whatever. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
if they were best friends and then developed into something, but I'm pretty sure if then all of a sudden it broke off, it's going to be in the same situation,
I,
very similar to what Frank was saying, where
I don't
it
know,
becomes
man.
you ain't
no,
going to be rekindling like that. Like, it's going to
it
be
be
different because once you hit
it
that title
becomes
and it comes out, like once you get that intimacy involved and that shit severs, it changes the dynamic of the relationship.
it
So you can't
becomes
just bounce back into it as best friends anymore. I mean, just
my
saying. I mean, that's my
my
opinion.
wife was my best friend. Not is, my wife was my best friend in that kind of situation. Because like
Right.
you can't confuse the intimacy of the relationship with the status. You can't put those two together. Right?
Mm,
That's the problem, like with passion. It blurs lines, and it really fogs up situations, right? When you get that, when you take the passion out of it, like the situation changes a little bit, I think.
mm,
So in what you were saying, where they were friends and then developed into that intimate relationship, my wife was my best friend, and now she's my wife. She took
Mm,
it's a different step, it's a different level,
yeah.
mm.
you know.
I get it.
So everyone needs to stop with the bullshit of my significant other is my best friend. It's not true. You have a best friend somewhere, and if you don't, go find one that is not your husband or
Right.
your wife.
Right. It's good to meet other people, man.
Word.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we had to get that out there, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen.
It was good.
we appreciate you tuning in. Go make some friends. This is the Alpha 5 podcast. I'm Frank, aka PJ, with John and Fabian. Remember to hit that subscribe, hit the like, listen to all them previous episodes. There's what, 70 of them now. You got entertainment for days.
Word. I think this might
So
be 67 right now. Uh, check the numbers.
Check, check
yeah,
that.
either whatever. They're
There's
out there.
numbers there.
Go listen.
You're right. There's
And
more
we're
than enough.
everywhere. And we're everywhere. You can catch them on Instagram, us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook as well. You want to drop us a comment or have a topic idea, let us know. Until next week, fellas. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.